Hey everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm so excited for 12 Days of Summer to be started. We're kicking things off with one bird. So I called this one Birds of a Feather, and the goal is to just use some type of a feather friend on our layouts. So I wanted to go ahead and do this fun little square of color, and I happened to see this on Pinterest. It's in my saved like pins somewhere, and it was this really cool block of just color, and then there was stuff all around it. I didn't follow it other than the fact that it took the inspiration of this block of color. And I'm going to do it, like I said, in the colors of just the blues and teals and water type colors, because I have two photos of my son playing in the pool and I felt like it would be perfect. And so I just had fun playing. I did have to cover things up. I did not think about the fact that there would be overspray, and it left this cool kind of line to it. And it was fun. I totally played. I had no real idea about what was going to happen, but I really love the way it turned out. I liked adding all the different shades of blue shimmers that I have in my stash. It really helped to kind of just mix it all up and do what I was looking for. I did have to go in with a paintbrush and just kind of do my thing. You can see right now I'm swishing it around to try to get the color to all go. I just kept doing that, and then I used my paintbrush to do the rest of it. Then I went in with all the same colors and did some splatters because I love that effect. And then you can see I take off the washi, and of course there's a little bit of overspray, and it left this really cool, perfect like white square, and I love it. I think it's actually really neat, and it helped me play off with what I'm going to do with the rest of my layout. So go ahead, like I said, I'm going to do all the splatters. It takes a while, but it all worked, and it's really neat, and I totally dig the way that it turned out. My goal here is to be using something very unique in this layout. I have off to the side, you can't see it yet, you will in a minute, but it is a paper bag from Hallmark when I bought a card for a birthday or something. And it has this really cool scallop pattern to it. And because it's kind of like a tanny, paper bag color, I thought it would be really fun to add that in and just kind of make it the highlight, besides my photos, the highlight of this layout. So I'm going to go ahead, there's the bag, and I placed my photo, which just happens to fit perfectly in the middle. And I'm going to fussy cut this out. So I do switch up the big photo that I'm going to use. You'll see that in a minute. But I also cut out on the back are these scallops, and I'm going to cut those up and use them as well, and kind of place them two at the top and two at the bottom. And I really love this design. I think it works really perfectly, and it brings your eye to the photos, but you still see the fun texture that the paper bag brings in, and I dig it. I absolutely love the way that this turned out. A moment before, you did see me go ahead and splatter with a bit of red as well. It's kind of like my Caribbean sunset, I believe. And the reason why I do that is because my son is wearing a red hat and I needed to be able to tie it in some way. And so using red splatters was really kind of my only idea to get it to come in. And it's very, very subtle, but it definitely helps, I think. I am going to use a little bit of pattern paper. I don't use a ton, just a little, and it's just going to help me kind of pop up this smaller photo. This is the photo I really wanted to highlight because he looks so sweet, but I liked it in the smaller size, and then the one of him not quite looking at me in the bigger. I don't know. I like the different sizes that it brought in, and I just kind of went with it. So, and I didn't have a smaller photo of him looking down, or I probably would have switched it and made that the smaller photo. I am also going to go in here and cut out this banner. Originally, I was going to plan on using this layout for a layout that's coming up in 12 days. So the last day is all about using a banner, and I totally planned on making this layout about a banner and highlighting my banner. But things change, and you will see that. So the whole point though was to figure out where to put this banner, and the scallops made me think of a banner too, which is why I brought them in, and I like the pops of color it brought, and I just thought it would work really well. But in the end, this exact banner doesn't work out. I couldn't make it work. I'm going to back my layout with a piece of pattern paper that I have had in my stash forever. It's very summery. It works perfect for summer, but I could never make it work. So it's just kind of been hanging out in my stash. I have a collection of summer papers and I keep looking at it and I never use it. So it was nice to finally be able to get that used up. I'm going to use these gigantic letters. They're from Maggie Holmes, and it's the first time I've actually been able to use them. The only problem is there's only one of each letter, and I want to spell out the word pool, so I'm using a Q and just kind of hiding it. But it definitely worked. I don't even think you'd be able to notice it unless you lifted up the photo. So it worked. And then it says right now, sunny pool days, but I am having an issue with the color of the word sunny and the banners I want to use. It's just too much. It's now being drawn away from my photos, and I didn't really want to do that. So I take them away and I try to think of something else to do, and that is when the bird comes into play. I go ahead and grab him and I place him on the top of the word pool, and I love that. I feel like it works perfectly. And so I'm going to do that, add on top of the bird a little puffy sticker from, I believe that's Paige Evans, and it says The Good Life. And then to add in one more pop of yellow, because the bird's beak is yellow and the word The Good Life is going to be yellow, I add yellow little banner from Maggie Holmes to the top, and I'll date stamp the day up there. And I will put my journaling right next to the photo in that little rest of the block of the blue. And that is really basically how the layout turns out. It was once I figured out what I was really trying to do and I took away the banner and added the bird, it was just like, it was perfect. I loved it. So these two photos are, like I said, of my son in the pool. This was last year, and I think it was last year or the year before. Maybe, I'm not sure. I think it was last year though. And he was just having a good old time, and he loves the water. He really does. And we had a new swimming pool and he was playing around in it and just trying to stay cool. And I just love the way that the photos turned out. I thought they were cool angles, and I've been kind of waiting to document them. So I was excited to get them used up, finally use them and document this kind of cute event. It's just a summer layout. It's not really a huge anything, but I definitely wanted to finally get these photos scrapped because they are definitely some of my favorites of him from last year. And so that's the story behind it. Let me also say before this video runs out, please make sure to go check out Daisy's Take, and we are so excited to be back doing 12 days of summer with you. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye.